Okay, so you can see that we are now transitioning from our groundwork to getting on the horse, and a lot of people won't take the time to do this, but I've seen such great value in just literally putting our Smarty in the arena and just setting it still to where we can take from the ground to the horse, and we're basically doing the same thing. I'm teaching everybody to ride their horse exactly in their position, take a couple swings, and rope it to where they can keep that consistency. So, because judging your distance is a lot harder off the horse, and I'm seeing that more and more and more. And then when you get to moving the Smarty, like at 10 miles an hour, 12 miles an hour, then the difficulty of reading your distance is even more. Steer moving right or left, live cattle, that distance seems to be a perception of that distance is what makes you throw, like take a bad shot, either rope too close or rope too far away, where this is nice and slow and you're just walking in that exact same spot where you're not going to miss. It's just, again, building our foundation of riding our horse right, keeping our body posture right, and just not missing. It'll produce a lot of confidence in you. It's going to help you develop a lot of the right motor skills, what you're doing with your left and your right hand. And some of these shots, you're going to see that I, again, use these purple buckets as a point of reference. Every one of us, our lay-in shot, meaning our 100% shot, is a little different. I like to stay a little bit further back than some of the girls do. But I'm not dropping a coil, that's for sure, but yet I might be a little bit further back because I'm taller. And you'll notice that everybody's just has a little bit different idea of what their perfect shot is. And that's the way it'll be with you guys. So by doing this, you're able to figure out where's my most consistent shot. Is it a little bit closer, a little bit farther back? You're the only one that's going to really know that for you. Again, on these shots, you're seeing, I'm doing the same things we did on the ground. We're practicing riding our horse up to our spot, position, swing, then delivery. And then you practice doing it all together where you actually start picking up your swing early, and at the same time as you're swinging, you still have to concentrate on riding your horse to your spot and then stop. What I see so much of is like this drill here. If you move into live cattle from here, the chances are most people will still take a shot too soon and they'll throw before they ever get there, and it causes them to miss because the rope didn't have enough distance to get there. You see that pattern that we're riding our horse away from. I remember Clay Tryon telling me one time that he imagines a bucket being right off to the side of his left stirrup, and he just tries to lope his horse around that bucket as he's dallying, and that keeps his horse from ever ducking. You can see that basically that curve that we're riding our horse out of, there's no way that our horse is going to duck. He's going to follow his nose around, keep his shoulders up, and we're even setting ourselves up to start a really nice move away from the Smarty, to where we can handle our steers really good and just guide them around and manage their shoulders and their hips when we're handling them. So even though we're not moving, we're still working towards building a foundation towards roping, getting it tight, dallying. This is such a good drill right here for everybody, especially if you're just getting started. I mean, I just feel like you can't be too slow or methodical when you're trying to build this foundation for your roping, because an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. If you don't build your foundation correctly, then you're going to have to relearn it and fix your problems later on. So why not just learn to do it right off the bat? Learn to control your horse with your left hand. Use your feet. Find out what that perfect position is. I'd rather you learn correctly than have to go a year from now and then have to start over again. And that happens a lot with me. I see people that were taught incorrectly, or they self-taught themselves, and they come and then I have to kind of show them all over again. But that's the only way to do it, whether you play basketball or anything. There's a foundation of doing everything correct, and that's the very best way to be consistent, is doing everything correct. And as you're watching us all do this, I've tried to teach everybody this, but there's a certain distance away from the steer or the Smarty, that you pick up your rope to where you're not swinging like too many times, like 10, 12 times. For me, I like to take about three good swings. I mean, it's hard enough to take 3 super accurate swings and then go into your delivery than to swing it 10 times perfect. So if you can pick your rope up at the right time, you can get 3 good swings in before you get there. It doesn't have to be 3, it could be 4 or 5, but point is, you don't want to pick your rope up too late, or you're only going to get 1 swing in, and then it's going to mess your delivery up. Unless that first swing is absolutely perfect, which is very hard to make your first swing perfect, then you have to learn to pick up your swing a little bit earlier so that you can make sure that that last swing is exactly the way you want your delivery to be. Your last swing sets up your delivery. Your last swing is the most important swing before your delivery. So learning to pick your rope up at the right time as you approach the Smarty is so important. And this is just a nice, slow way of learning to do it, where you're not swinging it too many times, but you're not only swinging once. And then when you're moving, it's just that much harder to perceive, like, when should I start that first swing? But we have a drill that actually helps you to read that distance, to know that about 20 feet back is where I pick my swing up, and by the time I get to my spot, I've taken 3 swings and then I deliver. Learn that distance of when to pick up that swing as you're approaching the steer.